Hi everyone, today I will be going through the new update of the LED Pixelmapper template for After Effects. There have been a lot of changes and improvements in spite of it being called version 1.1. The biggest new features are custom tile size, dual and triple color, extra coloring features, tiles numbering, text background presets, and the coordinate text. I will be going through all of these features, so bear with me while I cover each one of them. So here we have the template open and ready for tweaking inside of After Effects. In your project panel, you can see your canvas. We will go over that in the end. And we have the global. This is more for the global colors. And the main one being the LED composition. So the first one is your color settings. Here you can choose any color preset you want. And you can also change the color mode into being a triple color or a dual color. And also for the grid blending mode, you can change this now to a different blending mode, so you can see it will change the way you can see the edges a little bit better. Let's go back, preset 1 and to triple color. Now you can also rotate the hue of the screen, of your LED screen, and also change the border color. So you can change it in any of those three colors or any color you like if you change it to manual. And so if your color is your entire color palette, and now you can change the colors to any color you want, and it will read out if you choose in between any of those colors. The force global option, this is for when you want to override this entire palette for what you defined inside of your global uh, composition. And here you have all the colors the same, actually the same palette, but you can change it to anything you like. This comes in handy if you have a bunch of these LED screens on your canvas and you set it all to global, you can change it there. So next one, let's turn it back off. Next one is gradient. This is a slight gradation on the edges, like a color shifting. And you can set it now to have it on the left side or right side or both of the sides, my bad, or horizontally, vertically, but also change the feathering and how thick it has to be. Okay, so let's set it back to 0. We don't want any gradient for now. And the final one is the hue shifting. This is a little bit tricky. The way that it works is the same way as the hue rotate. So you can set it to rotate for 50 units. But this is the amount of steps it takes to shift it for 50 units. So it can be 1 shift or 2 shifts, 3 shifts, etc. So you can do this manually if you have a bunch of LED and you want to shift it like a stepping shifting, or you can choose to set it on a digits way. And this way, it will take any number you set up here. So let's take 1, and now it shifts it by 1, or you change it to 3. So this shifted into 3. And anything you add in here will be additive. So if you put 2, it will be a total of 5 shiftings. So it's best to keep it at 0 and just use this. You have, I don't know, you can call it a column 0, 1, and that's step 1. Duplicate it, see, and the next one will have a different shift. What you can also do, let's rename this into column A. And for this, you can change the U shift into A to Z. So it will take an index of A to Z and use that for the steps. So this one will be step number 1, or 0 in this case. And the next one, if you change it to B, it will be the next step. And that way you can go all the way to Z to have 26 steps, right? Okay, so that concludes the color settings. So now we are at the tile settings. The tile settings, now you can choose between automatic, preset, or the new custom size. or the manual XY, or squaring it off using the X or the Y. For the automatic, the way that this works is it will run this list from biggest to smallest, and anything that fits perfectly inside of your canvas, it will choose it. So this way, let me open up custom size. This list goes from smallest to biggest, and an extra step here being your custom size. And as you can see, 30/30 doesn't fit. It's not, well, it won't fit being from biggest to smallest, so it will choose now 80/80. But if I change this for 25 and 25, it will say, huh, that's the first one that matches. But if I change it back to 30, it will loop through and then choose 80 because that one fits before 40. Right? So if I change it to preset, now you can say it, I want this preset, or we can go to 80, or you can choose anything you want. So let's go back to automatic. The next one is your tile options, and it speaks for itself. You can set any X and Y that you want, or you can tell it to use 8 tiles on the X and square it off on the Y, so it will skip the Y. Or you can tell it, I want 10 tiles on the Y and square anything off on the X. And the last one is just a custom tile, so you can change it anything you want. So if you have a different tile size, you can change it here and it will adapt to it. So here we have the text settings. Now you can choose between composition name or a custom name. And the custom name in this case is this text right here. So you can change it to anything you want, like a deck, screen, and it will read out this name for your LED name. So let's change it back to the composition name. And now you can choose between different styles. We have an A, like a rounded corner, or a B, the same width, and a bunch of other styles. Just play with it. So let's leave it like this, and you can also now align it to wherever you want. You can put it on the bottom left corner, or the top right corner, or any way you like, the center bottom, or just put it back to center for now. You can change the scale, the rotation, the XY movements, and now it's separated from your diagonal axis. You can also limit your text selection. So let's say we call this screen right 02. Now you can tell it use the text selection mode, and index length screen right is I think around 10 characters starting from 0. Let's add 2 more. So now it reads out screen right without the 02. But you can also tell the index to start at -2, so it will start from here, and being a length or anything. Now it exceeds the length of the text, so it will just be 02. Or you can tell it B02. Or you know what, let's call it right 02, so it will be, I don't know, let's put it 15 characters, and then push it down until we see right 02. So that's the way that the text selection works. The next one is your background options. For some styles, like the A and B style in your, I think your hexagon as well. Not your hexagon, my bad. The rectangle. You can round out those corners to have it straight or rounded out. So we can put it back to style B. See, and now you can round those corners however you like. You can also expand or play with your opacity. And that's it for your text settings. So the next one is your tiles numbering. This is a big new feature for 1.1. Now you can also have the tiles numbering on top of each tile. And this can be a little bit tricky. Some people wanted to have the tile numbering from left to right and then starting on the next row also from left to right. That's a normal way. Or for some technicians, they want to have it the way that they connect the tiles. So we call that like a snake. So it can be a snake started from top left to top right, and it will continue down like a snake. So you can change it also from bottom right going up, and it will go like a snake all the way to the end. Now you can also change the color from white to black, or any of those three colors that you have for the tiles. You can have a black stroke around it, or a white stroke, or none. Or you can change your color, your color to any manual color, and you can set it up here, anything you want. For this way to work, I also added some X and Y movements. This is needed because it's a little bit tricky to do in After Effects to have all those numbers without it being 50 text fields. But for some tile settings, if we change it to a preset, you can see it happening right here. Let's go for something. No, let's leave it at 40. And back to tile numbering. So let's change the text back to white. And now you can see they need a little bit of shifting. So we shift a little bit to the left. Tap, next one. Shift it a little bit down. And you can also scale them up if you want to, or scale them down. And that's it. The last one are just some extra settings. It's just a way to turn stuff on and off, like the axis, or all those X marks in the back. So just play with it. It's just a way to turn things on and off. You can also play around with the thickness of all these. You can change the grid thickness. That. Or you can change the axis thickness. And it will just give you some freedom to change some stuff around. Scale and move, those are just for the corners. You know you can scale the corners up. And the corners are there just for an indication. When we have two tiles, two LED screens next to each other, you can clearly see where one ends and the other one starts. But now you can also scale the text here independently from the dimension, as if you want to do that. And here you can move the axis and lines. Okay, right. So the next one is your virtual tiles. This is separated from the parameters because you don't always want to use it, and it's there to keep things separated. The way that it works is let's enable one. So you have 20 groups, and the way that one group works is you enable it, and you can have how many tiles you want in the x-axis and in the y-axis. And you can add a second group. So let's go for a staircasing, like going down this way. So we can enable this one, and it can be 3 tiles white and just 1 tile in the Y. And group 3, enable that and have it 2 tiles, 2 by 2. And if you go all the way up, you can also flip it on the X horizontally, or on the Y. You can also mirror it horizontally, or mirror it vertically, or both of them if you want so. Let's go back to no mirror and no flip. You can play with the opacity, like this. and it reads out the tile size from the main LED screen. But you can also change it to a custom size if you want so, like 40 by 40. But just take into account you have to add those tiles in if you want so. And as you can see, let's disable group 3. And group 2, the parenting is being parented to group 1, and it's telling it start below it. But you can also tell it start on the right of it. See? And you can also tell group 3, now it's starting below group 2, and that's why you can see those tiles. And these numbers are here so you can offset it. So you can tell group 2 to be offsetted on the X and the Y. So we're going to offset it on the Y and shift it down. And you can see group 3 will go along with 2. So let's say we want to fill this one in here. What we can do is enable 4. We need a 3 by 3. 3 by 3. We're going to align it to, this is group 2, and align it on the right. See, and it's really easy to add those groups, and it's a way to add virtual tiles if you want so. So the last one is your canvas or your text coordinate. So I have it here open, and this canvas is really big, it's 4K big. And these guys are here just to help you. This is a 2K map, this is a 4K resolution, or a 1920 1080 resolution. So let's go for something easy. That's 1920 1080. We can go ahead and delete those guys, we don't need that. And here you can see we have that LED screen and the coordinate here on top. I have my selection hidden, so let's add it back. Show layer controls. Okay, so let's make a really simple pixel map. Let's call this one back screen, and we will change the color to a red color, duplicate it, call it the boot. For the boots I want a blue color, blue, and change the height 200, 600, and let's duplicate it and use iMac or side screen, side left. This will be something easy, 400, 300. And let's change those tile settings into preset of, you know what, let's do something like that, easy. Side left with the color, I don't know, purple, and the right one with the color green. So back into the canvas, we have our back screen. Let's add our boot, shift it down. This one is not in the center, so let's reset this position, move it up, put the left one here, snap it, shift the right one here, snap it, and shift it. So the way that this coordinate text work, let's put it on the top. We have some options. As you can see, it will sample the name of wherever you put it, you link it to. So it's linked now to layer number 5. It's called back screen, and it's being told to align on the top outside. That's the vertical axis, this axis. And on the x-axis, it's being told align yourself on the left, but on the inside. You can also change it to being top inside. And we have some options for the way you can view it, and that is the background mode. You can have a drop shadow or just a stroke. So let's leave it outside, left outside, top outside, and left. You know what? Let's put it in the center. And now it's easy to just duplicate this text and tell it to align itself on the DJ boot. Let's move it a little bit. And I think it's easier to put it on the right side here. So we tell it vertically on the center and horizontally on the right outside. I can duplicate it once again and align this one on the left screen. And let's put it on the center bottom. It's horizontally center and vertically bottom outside. And now we can duplicate it and align it to the right side. And as you can see, you have all the information of all the LED screen on each screen on your canvas. And as you can also see, now it's sampling its XY position, but also the width and the height. And even if you move this around, I will do this just for demonstration purposes. If I move this, you can see the X and Y changing. Even if I scale it down, the text will follow, and it will also adjust the width and the height. I don't recommend you doing it, but you can also do it. You can also change the anchor points. So even if you change your anchor points, your X and Y will still stay the same. Some people prefer to work that way, to change the anchor point on top and then scale your composition or your LED screen. So this is an easy way to work with the coordinates and have your pixel map ready for export. And this concludes all the information needed for the LED Pixelmapper template. If you have any questions, hit me up, let me know what you think of it. If you have any ideas or anything, just let me know. And I'm willing to take a look at it. So I hope you guys like it, have fun with it, and goodbye. Thank you.